Today, Donald Trump just admitted something terrifying about his new concentration camp that he's calling Alligator Alcatraz. Between that and the shocking new footage that we have inside of the camp, things are really starting to look bad. Keep watching as I go over all of this and more, and as always, please comment, like, and share to help spread the word. For months now, Donald Trump and his allies have been discussing what to do with the people arrested by ICE agents. They've been setting up makeshift facilities across the country, but thousands of brave citizens and even elected Democrats keep showing up to protest outside of them. Well, with the opening of his new migrant prison in the middle of the Florida Everglades, Trump has found a solution to this. And as you can imagine, Republicans are excitedly advertising this new prison as if it were the new iPhone. I'll let Caroline Levitt introduce it to you.
On a scheduling note, tomorrow, President Trump will travel to the great state of Florida to attend the opening of a new illegal alien detention center located at Dade Collier Training and Transition Airport alongside Secretary Kristi Noem, Governor Ron DeSantis, Congressman Byron Donalds, and other state and local leaders. We hope to see many of you there. The facility is in the heart of the Everglades and will be informally known as Alligator Alcatraz. There is only one road leading in, and the only way out is a one-way flight. It is isolated and surrounded by dangerous wildlife and unforgiving terrain. The facility will have up to 5,000 beds to house, process, and deport criminal illegal aliens. This is an efficient and low-cost way to help carry out the largest mass deportation campaign in American history.
The fact that Caroline Levitt was smiling while introducing detention facilities really does show you the cruelty of MAGA Republicans, doesn't it? They simply don't care about other human beings. They are truly the lowest of the low in our modern society. And while this is being played off as a place for criminals and illegals, it's very clear that this new Alligator Alcatraz is part of Trump's much bigger plans of stripping away our democracy. First and foremost, for the past few months, the instances of students, foreign travelers, and even American citizens being arrested has only been increasing. Luckily, ICE does tend to let these people go eventually, but there's a big difference between accidentally sending someone to a police station 2 towns over and accidentally getting put on a plane to a maximum security prison in the middle of a swamp. And I can already see Trump just leaving innocent people stuck in this new place because he's literally already done that before. But beyond additional threats, the Trump administration has hinted at arresting and potentially even deporting American citizens that they just simply don't like. From people who were the children of immigrants to even just people off the street. In fact, here is Donald Trump just this morning when he was asked about deporting U.S. citizens.
I'd like to say, a little controversial, but I couldn't care less. We have a lot of bad criminals that came into this country, and they came in stupidly. It was an unforced error. It was an incompetent president that allowed it to happen. It was an auto pen maybe that allowed it to happen, and it did happen. But we also have a lot of bad people that have been here for a long time. People that whack people over the head with a baseball bat from behind when they're not looking and kill them. People that knife you when you're walking down the street. They're not new to our country. They're old to our country. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here, too. You want to know the truth. So maybe that'll be the next job that we'll work on together. But I think getting them out, we forget about them. We had some bad accidents in New York, and they're not accidents.
He says that he wants to find ways of getting rid of people that he just doesn't like, whether that be deporting them or maybe locking them in a place like Alligator Alcatraz. But what's even crazier than the President of the United States saying that he might deport American citizens are his plans on how he's going to ramp up deportations in the first place. At the press conference that he hosted in Florida for the opening of this Alligator Alcatraz, Ron DeSantis joined Trump to talk about how he wants to help. DeSantis says that he's going to use Florida taxpayer dollars to help support ICE agents in his state. He even goes as far as to claim that he wants to deputize National Guard members so that they can be sent out to help arrest migrants and then sentence them to prison. And before I actually play the clip for you, I just want to say that this plan is absolutely insane. Not only are the National Guard members not trained for arresting people and working with ICE agents, but the majority of people in the National Guard serve part-time. This means that they have regular day jobs and only work for the forces one weekend per month, or when they get called up for an emergency. Ron DeSantis literally wants to call up volunteer students, tradesmen, accountants, whatever, and force them to hunt down illegal immigrants. So while keeping that in mind, take a look at this clip.
This is, we're offering up our National Guard and other folks in Florida to be deputized to be immigration judges. We're working with the Department of Justice for the approvals. I'm sure Pam will approve. But then I'll have a National Guard judge advocate here. Someone has a notice to appear. Biden would tell them to come back in 3 years and appear. Now you'll be able to appear in like a day or two, so they're not going to be detained hopefully for all that long. We'll have people here in this facility that can make, it's a bureaucracy. The president's got to deal with the bureaucracy. Now that Supreme Court ruling was good because that's going to allow him to be able to exercise Article 2 the way founders intended, but you still have bureaucracy. So we want to cut through that so that we have an efficient operation between Florida and DHS to get the removal of these illegals done.
DeSantis and Trump both claim that they want to speed up arrests and deportations by cutting through the bureaucracy, but the bureaucracy that they're referring to is the court system that deportation has to go through. They are literally saying to your face that they want to shrink the court system so that they can just do whatever they want with people. And yeah, of course, they're going to say that they only want to do this for migrants, but let's be real here. MAGA Republicans don't need authoritarian powers to deport illegal immigrants. I mean, for example, Obama deported people without bypassing our court system. Trump and his allies aren't building legal loopholes to control migrants, they're building them to control you. Migrants are just the test run here. And speaking of that test run, how many people are going to be caught up in this first round of Alcatraz imprisonment? Apparently, the facility was built to house 5,000 people initially, but could expand to hold much more in the coming years. And all of it's being paid for from a combination of Florida taxpayer support, government funds, and repurposed FEMA money. That's right, FEMA. Donald Trump paid for his new prison in Florida by using money from the agency that helps track and clean up hurricanes.
The Department of Homeland Security says the new facility will cost about $450 million a year and will be reimbursed in large part by a FEMA program previously used to shelter migrants in places like this hotel in New York City.
Now, it seems like actual news agencies have not yet been allowed into the facility, and in my opinion, if you have to hide the cameras, this probably is going to be a terrible place to be sending anyone. The only clear footage that I could find of anyone inside this place comes from a MAGA influencer and Twitter troll, Benny Johnson. Johnson got a tour of this new prison while literally wearing merchandise for this place. Talk about a cash grab. While I'm sure that he only got to see what Trump wanted him to, he did at least provide us with a look inside. And if you remember seeing the El Salvador prison with mass cages and dozens of people locked in together, it's sort of like that, but cheaper. Donald Trump is opening a mass detention facility where people will be locked by the dozen in small chain link cages, while cartoonishly surrounded by alligator country. This is not an exercise of our justice system, this is an insult of decency, human rights, and the law. The Trump administration has been bragging all day about this new facility, but I think we need to call it what it is. This place is a concentration camp where Trump will send people to disappear, while they push the limits of the courts to its breaking point. This place cannot be allowed to exist in a free and fair democracy, and if you want to avoid more places like this and spread awareness of the dangerous actions by the Trump administration, you can help by sharing this video and letting me know what you think of the new Alligator Alcatraz in the comments below.